if you truly think about it, a lot of people are in fear of their jobs. We talk about this so much on here about AI taking over so many jobs. And y'all had a good question about, in the music world, as far as musicians that make their living, off of their talent with music, playing instruments. Do I believe AI is going to take a lot of more gigs from musicians? Yes. In reality, it's already happening. Think about it. When most people, whether it's a wedding reception or family, whatever the engagement is, a lot of people want a band. But then when you think about it, there are a lot of people that really can't afford a band. And then there are bands that will, take less pay than other bands. Especially calling who is it for? If it's their kin folks or whatever, they may give them a break, a discount. But if you look at the other side of it, a lot of people want a DJ. And some people are able to afford a DJ and the band. Sometimes the bands and the DJs bump heads. And so when you look at this AI, AI is making so much music now anyway, if you keep up with it. You got the chat GPT, all this stuff going on. And then you got the music part of it. And then if most people can get by with AI versus a band, what you think they're gonna really choose? But then there's a lot of musicians that play with more than one band. So when they have their gigs lined up right, they may not even be worried about it at all because they got so many gigs anyway. But if you just look at the way times is changing, you know, you look at the job market, you see AI, artificial intelligence all over, especially a lot of warehouse jobs. Like I said the other video, taking over the pharmacy. So yes, you can see it already in play. As far as on the music side, like a lot of people I know, they down to the point now where it's cheaper for them to just get a DJ. See, we start talking about a DJ versus a band, that is a big difference because, just I talked about this maybe 6 or 7 years ago when I talked about how so many musicians struggle in the band because just say you keep taking these low paying gigs. Let's just say you got a 5-piece band. We're gonna say at that minimum, a 5-piece band. And then here's somebody want the band to play for 2 hours, or maybe 3 hours, or 2 sets, or whatever, how many sets they want. And here you go, you got 5 people in the band. After a while, them little $100 gigs, once you start looking at, you gotta load up your own sound, travel back and forth. It gets very expensive. And you done did that gig. Here you go. Just say you only charge them $500. And here you go, you got 5 people in the band, everybody get $100 a piece. But then if you look at, okay, y'all go longer and longer, you done played extra music, extra time. And then think about it if they didn't tip. That's how it goes a lot of times. And that's why so many musicians are burnt out. Go back and look at the video I did about those $100 gigs and how many musicians are burnt out because this $100 or $50, it's just burning you out. And the way gas is and everything, the cost of living is, you got to really ask yourself, are you really making it over or you really losing, So when you start talking about AI on the scene, AI ain't going to complain about no gig. Somebody catch that later. AI is the computer. Like I said, that's the main thing they look at. A robot won't get tired. A robot don't need to go on vacation. A robot don't need to rest. So anytime they can replace a robot with doing something a human can do, they're going to try their best to get that robot in there, and that's what's happening. So yes, to make a long story short, I can see a whole lot of this taking over a lot of gigs, a lot of people taking the shortcut route because it's just easier to do this. It's a lot of band members that get mad when they got a DJ on the scene. And it's a lot of DJs that get mad when they got a band on the scene because sometimes people may go over, and now you want the DJ to play. Now you want the DJ to close out. The DJ supposed to came up at 9:30, but the band was still going on at 10 o'clock. And that's why people start having so much issues with the money, man. Like, well, bro, I paid you for an hour. Well, it wasn't my fault, man. You didn't cut the band off and such and such. And it started becoming an ongoing conflict. So you can see a lot of people saying, "Why I just don't use AI? AI ain't gonna be no headache like this." That cut out a whole lot of confusion. So y'all just give me y'all feedback on this to the musicians out there. This is more of a video for the musicians. Even if you're not a musician, you may still can relate to this, whether you talking about having a little engagement, or even in a lot of weddings, man. A lot of people that's doing weddings now kind of cutting out the musicians. They cutting out musicians anyway. You know, they just, hey, I'm gonna just play the music. Because this right here, you see how many people keep buying the DJ software or downloading the DJ software and adding it to their laptop. The laptop is taking over. It's replacing the band in so many ways anyway. But I'm not saying it's real to say that, you know, it's taking away all the way for the bands. If you look at technology anyway, like I said in the video I did about 10 years ago, technology has handicapped many musicians anyway. Because now you can buy a keyboard and just hold down one button and make a whole song. Versus back in the day when I was coming up, you had to literally play. Or you had to know your instrument, you had to know your crowd. Or when you start doing that sequence, see, we used to have them old Sonic 16 plus or the old ASR 10s. Or y'all remember when the 3.5 floppy disks first started coming out? Them days is over, man. You rarely even see a piano. I mean, it's not a piano, but a keyboard with a 3.5 on it, because once they start coming out with USB and SD cards, it started replacing 3.5 floppy disks anyway. Those 3.5 started having a lot of issues because they would get dirty, you know, and once the dirt would get on there, it wipe away all the memory on there. So everything is changing. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I can see a whole lot of more of the AI technology, man, taking over a lot of more gigs, because it's going to be more easier for people to just boom. But one thing I'll say as a musician, it's hard to replace a live band with their live sound, with a live guitar, and a live saxophone, a live drum, you know, a live bass player, a live everything. Cause see, I'm like that. I love live music. Ain't nothing better, man, to me than sit back and I could be able to watch. Ooh, look at the man on the bass over there. Look at old girl on them keys. Look at my boy on that lead guitar. I love to see musicians have fun and enjoy, you know, what they're doing when they play, especially if it's at a restaurant or something, man. Smooth music, man, laid back music, and you enjoying yourself. You're not gonna get that same feel with AI. You know, that's why, just me personally, as I close, don't take this the wrong way, musicians, but this is why I cannot stand pianos that play themselves. I hate that. To me, that's taking the beauty out of the piano. When you can just hit a button and the piano just playing itself. Man, I love to see a real person playing the piano. That's what that technology is doing. But that's just my opinion. That's why I'm saying that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That is my opinion. I hate to see these pianos like that nowadays. But everything has handicapped musicians in so many ways that's what this world system do. They want to make everything easier and easier for you to do. So all the musicians that's watching this, give me some feedback on what do you think about AI taking over more musicians' gigs. On that note, y'all have a blessed day. Shalom.